who understands that and is like embracing that to the 10th power, like to really like to the point where it's almost like potentially destructive for him is like 6ix9ine, you know. Not that I was planning on talking about him during this interview, but what you know sort of had said reminded me of that. Like, do you feel like a guy like him is sort of like a really weird anomaly, like a once in a lifetime kind of thing? Or do you feel like what he's doing, this sort of like weird process of trolling and meme content and just sort of like attention seeking, like do you feel like that's the future of not even just hip hop, but just kind of like popular music in general? Like, is music going to devolve into just a bunch of people like essentially turning their lives into defucking volve into like a Jackass series where they're just like endangering their lives or doing stupid shit?
The commercial is rap,
yeah,
and everything else is that.
Exactly.
Well, first and foremost, I'll say Tekashi 6ix9ine is once in my lifetime. I've never experienced an artist like that. I don't fucking know the guy, but he definitely knows what he's doing. I mean, you know, and it's just, I mean, is it him? Is it other people? I don't know. The fact that it's like low-key genius as fuck. He came out as this gangster blood, but he wasn't really that. And then I'm sure there was something about like, I don't know, him and women and this and all this other shit. And then that was not a thing. And then there's other shit over here and whatever the case may be. And then he comes out of jail and he does what's the video he did out of jail?
Well, he came out of jail with the rat with the CGI face.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
so it's like you're doing the rat face and everyone's calling you a rat. But it's like, how can you not laugh at that in a way, right? It could, because it's like, okay, you know, hip hop is grounded on this like fucking like street law, like, you know what I mean? You don't rat on your homies, like you ride or die for your clique and you're this and all this other shit. But he came out and was like, yeah, this was all bullshit. I was just this dude living in New York and blah, 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 and all this other stuff, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, it also further like proves the point of, there's a lot of people out here living these lives. That's why I always loved, I'm just going to be fucking real. I love being myself, no matter how corny, because I've seen motherfuckers be like, oh, Logic's corny. Well, it's like, all right, well, at least I'm myself. Like, that's a real thing. Like, I'm me. Like, you could say I'm corny, I don't fit in, I'm not hip-hop Twitter or whatever the fuck, but it's like, bro, like, I'm me, though. I'm not coming out here like, hey, yo, what's up? I'm from B-More. I'm fucking your bitch, and I'm killing a dude. Like, I'm not that guy. So for me, I can look in the mirror and be like, hey, at least I'm happy, and I know that I'm not trying to portray something that I'm not. Which 6ix9ine is doing the complete opposite, which a lot of motherfuckers do the complete opposite. And that's why I will say, I love somebody like 2 Chainz, right, who came up and did a lot of the shit that he's talking about, but also went to school. He also wised up. And if you listen to his, I believe it's his most recent album, you know, he talks about like growing up from that and making it out of that, and then understanding that selling drugs to his own community wasn't like the thing to do, but it was shown and like almost marketed within this culture as like, oh yeah, that's dope, you sell crack and you do all this other shit. And he was like, nah, that's not the way to be. Now you could say he's woke and probably pushing 40, almost 40 something, maybe almost. And really realizing as a man, like, yo, this is bullshit and I don't want to be remembered for this. But that's at the same time why I don't necessarily knock real hood dudes who live that life, rap about those things at a young age, because it's all they know, especially when you have these people who are like a Chief Keef or whoever in his time, you know, who's in the south side of Chicago or any hood that they're in. That's literally all they know. So that's what they're rapping about. And then they get famous and then they kind of leave the hood and then they realize like, oh shit, this isn't what the real world is actually like. This is what my world is like, and my world is real. But all this perpetuation of drugs and violence and all this shit isn't necessarily the way out or how to make it. And then they go on to kind of tell that story and actually change as people for the better and set an example. So with 6ix9ine, respectfully, and you probably know this, I don't really talk about a lot of other artists, but I will here The fuck?
Sorry.
But I will hear.
That just got me excited. No, it's not, I just had an itch on my face. That's all.
No, your mic was like, well,
no, I know.
When I talk about, it's like looking in a mirror. It's a very sexy mirror.
I know.
When I talk about 6ix9ine, particularly, I don't think he ever really lived that life. I think he was around a lot of guys who have at one point lived that life, are still living that life, and we're kind of using him. And outside of that, I don't really have much to say about it. I don't particularly like his music, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, fuck this guy. Like,
but wait. Here's the thing. You know, it's like, I know there are a lot of people who do fuck with his music, but on top of it, like, I feel like that's not even a super crazy take, because at the end of the day, like, if he was making music and only making music, would as many people that are currently be paying attention? Like, it's the antics that draw people to, you know, it's the antics that bring the boys to the yard, you know. It's, you know, that's the antics are the milkshake. I mean, I don't know if you've been paying attention. You don't need to.
Because all the people who don't even know what a dope reference that is because they're too fucking young. But sorry, please continue. I'm sorry. I just have to. You're a guy.
That reference is still in rotation. I
don't know.
So, I think it's still. I saw a meme.
Ask like a 15-year-old white girl in fucking 10th grade. I don't know.
Kinda.
Maybe. Okay. Continue. You killed it. You snapped. Okay.
Thank you. But you know, his new album cover, I don't know if you saw, but it's like literally him coming out of the fucking Looney Tunes rings, you know, as like a cartoon. He's like, you know, it's like, okay, well, I mean, it fits. It gives you insight into, he's telling you he's fucking trolling you, and yet you can't say no anyway. You're still like, you're still tuned in every fucking night at 8 p.m. and same Tekashi time, same Tekashi channel.
Yeah, but hip hop isn't what it once was. I think hip hop in many ways was, I mean, underground for a long time, man. Like, okay, we had the Pacs and the Biggies and all this shit, but it's like, dude, like 2008, 9, 10 is when shit just now, to me, hip hop is pop music, right? Depending on the type of music and the artist and all this other shit. You know, nobody's like listening to fucking break beats on the radio. I wish they were, but they're not. But when you have this guy, it's just like, it's just different. There are 12-year-old kids. I remember when what the fuck is it called? GOOBA?
Yeah.
Anyway, so when that came out, I wasn't on social media, and somebody was like, yo, you got to see this GOOBA video. And I was like, okay. And I watched it, and there's all these thick women twerking and all this other shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Okay, cool. And I saw the snippet on his Instagram because a friend showed me that. And then somebody was like, yeah, like, you the shit. And I was like, who is this person? And I looked, and it is literally, if you looked up white child in America in the dictionary, it was this kid. Okay. I went to his Instagram. He's 12 years old, and it's just so funny. And I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, it's so funny that hip hop is not necessarily the culture anymore.